Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to do a forced perspective build. Now, I've never really liked forced perspective builds, especially the ones where it's so obvious that it's a forced perspective, but in my opinion, I don't think this technique is that obvious, and I think it's pretty simple to do. Obviously, I took a lot of inspiration from other YouTubers and Pinterest because I take almost my whole island is based on my Pinterest board. So anyways, today we're gonna be doing a forced perspective build, and it's gonna be like a little faraway town with like trees surrounding it. Since I have a European city core island, I don't usually have a lot of trees, but for this build you do need quite a few trees, so I'm happy that I got to include some of that like natural essence into my island as well. We gotta preserve nature as well, you know, so this is my part of preserving nature in my island. So anyways, I'm gonna talk a little bit about the materials that you will need, because all these materials you probably need to either order, craft, or you need to wait for the trees to grow a few days unless you time travel. So let me just get into it, and these are just things that you'll need. How many you'll need of each will depends on how big your forced perspective build is. If it is really big, you will need a lot of these items, and if it's not too big, you won't need too much. Also depends on how many like houses you want, how many trees you want, you know, it all really depends on you basically. First, you'll need a lot of flowers. This depends on your island theme as well, whatever color you want your flowers to be. I did a mixture of white and red because I really liked the look of the muted red flowers, and I thought they were super cute. Next, you will need wells. So if you don't have the well DIY, you can go into your resident services and you can redeem Nogmal tickets for the well recipe. This will be used for the roof of the bigger houses. Next, you'll need doll houses of different colors according to your theme. So I used a mixture of the pink doll houses and the normal doll houses. Doll houses can be obtained from Nook's Cranny. If you've never came across a doll house in your Nook's Cranny, you should definitely check out Nookzon and trade some bells. Definitely do that because doll houses are an essential to this build. Another thing that I use for houses are the medals for when you like decorate the person, I don't know, like when you decorate your house and the game likes the way you decorate the inside of your house or your interior, they'll send you like a house trophy. So I didn't get that, but someone gave it to me, so I have the trophy, so I used that as a house as well. Now, I don't know if I would recommend that 100% because it's really shiny, but it also adds a little bit to the whole build. So if you do have that, definitely try and use it. Another thing that I couldn't get, but it would be cool if you could use it, are the little trucks from the pocket camp thingy. So those will also be kind of useful if you get your hands on those. I personally didn't use them, but I do see a lot of people using them. Obviously, you don't need to use all of these items, but these are most of the main items that you will need to do forced perspective builds. A replacement for if you don't have the little trucks from the pocket camp is the throwback container. So I personally used that, and I used the red train that Sherb actually gifted to me. So thank you so much, Sherb. You are a lifesaver. The next thing you'll need is a brick oven. So I personally really like this because the brick oven has like smoke coming out of it, and it resembles like, you know, the chimney of the house with smoke coming out of it. The next thing I use a lot of is weeds. So I have like a lot of weeds scattered. Like if you change your camera angle and you look from up top, you can see that there are like a lot of blank spaces if you don't fill everything up. So even with my build right now, I still have a lot of blank spaces that I do potentially want to fill up in the future, but I'm just really lazy. The next thing I use, which is totally optional, is a windmill, but I really like it because when you look from far away, it's cool to have some sort of motion in the background. It makes people want to stop and just look at it, you know, when there's some action. So definitely use that. So next we're gonna go into like trees. So for trees, you want to plant the trees a few days prior, and you want to stunt the trees. If you don't know how to stunt a tree, I will put a tutorial in the description down below, but I'll slightly explain it. So basically, when the tree gets to the height that you want, you just want to plant another tree right behind that tree, and it will completely stunt the tree's growth, so it won't grow anymore. That's just a little hack. So that's what I did for all of these trees, and I have like a little tree farm in the back. I did mess up some of the trees, especially the pine cone trees in front. As you can see, they're fully grown. Also, the pine cone trees, they have really cute heights, so definitely play around with the heights of each tree because it will be really useful in the future. Next, you will also need a lot of bushes, so definitely stock up on bushes when leaf comes over. So that will be it for all the materials that you will potentially need. Here is the list of all the materials, by the way. You guys can screenshot this if needed. If you want to add something, alter anything, cut out anything, do that if necessary, and let's get right into the build. So the first thing that you're gonna do is terraform. So I started terraforming the layers. I realized that I want to have only 2 tiers and not 3 tiers, because in game you can't place anything on the 3rd tier, which is really annoying. Also, I'm too lazy to do the hack where you actually can get up to the 3rd tier and like place things on top. Next, I placed the windmills in the front of the terraformed layers. I think it looks super duper cool from far away, and it's just a really nice touch to be added in. Next, I want to talk about the placement of the trees. So obviously you can play around with this like I did as well. I didn't directly go like exactly what I'm about to tell you. So the placement of trees are really important in forest perspective builds, because if you place the bigger trees in front and the smaller trees in the back, it will look like it's from like really far away. So you want to place the bigger trees in front and the smaller trees in the back. Obviously you want to alter this a bit and not follow this formula exactly, because if you do, it's gonna look really weird when everything is perfectly in line. Nature is unpredictable, so there might be some really huge trees in the far away area, which causes it to look like the same height as the front trees. Whatever the case, play around with it a bit, add smaller trees in front and big trees in the back as well. Just add mostly the big trees in front and the smaller trees in the back, if that makes any sense. Next, you're gonna place wells in front and doll houses in the back. This is the same idea as the placement of the trees. Place the smaller items in the back and the bigger items in the front. This will also make it look like you're looking from a distance. Next, you're gonna place the oven in the back of the wells to make it look like there's smoke coming out of the house. I thought this was a super cute touch, and I haven't seen anyone do this before for forest perspective builds. I'm definitely not claiming the idea, but I think it looks really cool, especially when it's placed in a forest perspective build. Next, you're gonna fill small holes or spaces with weeds and flowers and bushes. Obviously, this depends on how big the area is. If the area is really big, just fill them with a bush. If the area is slightly big, fill them with a flower. If the area is really small, fill it with weed. So that's how it works. So next, this is definitely optional, but I did decide to put a custom design of train tracks down on the floor, and then I placed the throwback container on top to make it look like the train is going across the little area, and I thought that was super cute. I don't know, it really depends on who you're asking. I feel like a lot of people have really different opinions on how they want their forest perspective builds to look like everyone has really different tastes, and depending on like what your island theme is, or if you have no theme, whatever the case, I think that it just all depends on what you really want in it. But I think these are really cool techniques that you can definitely use and play around with on your own island. Obviously I just repeated the steps for the next 2 tiers, and this is how it looks at the end. I think it looks super duper cute. I really like it, and I hope you guys enjoy it as well. I was super stuck on this area at first. I didn't know what I wanted, and I didn't know how I wanted to do anything. So now that I've gotten it fixed, I'm just so happy that it's finally out of the way. Yeah, I want everything to look really good, so when I post my DA, you guys can go and explore my island. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this build. A lot of you guys actually requested a let's play video, so that will be coming soon. I just already had this pre-filmed, and if I did that one first, it will be uncontinuous with my island and everything like that. So yeah, I hope that's okay with you. And so that is it. That's all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the enormous support. I can't believe we're already at 300, and it was just so fast. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and stay happy, be positive. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.